We need to look like the sharpest contractor these people have ever met. Remember, they're trying to satisfy, is this the right guy?
A big mistake I saw our salespeople make is they walked in the house with their big iPad Pro.
The best tool that a salesperson has or should use is a Notepad. I never, ever, not one time, ever took a phone in on a call.
I believe that 80% of the sale is made during the explore phase.
So I'm going to let them watch me work. I'm going to invite them along for the ride if they will. If they can't go, I'm going to bring a presentation back that'll knock their socks off.
Have the client join you, make sure they watch you, make sure they see you sweat, bleed, get dirty. This is all part of the demonstration. It's all part of the show.
Man, just set the table here if you don't mind. I fully believe that our customers, you would say clients, right? They have three things they're trying to satisfy. They're trying to satisfy, is this the right person? Is this the right company? And is this the right time? Is Kevin Comerford the right dude? Is Service Champions the right company? Is today the day, right? They're trying to satisfy that. I also believe that people do business, Kevin, with people that they like and with people that they trust. Like, if I really like you, but I don't trust you, we're not going to work together, right? If I trust you, but I just don't like you, like, we're probably not going to work together. So there we go, that people are trying to find somebody that they like and they trust. And then we need to determine if today's the right day. And it all starts with the salesperson and the way they prepare and present themselves.
100%.
Tracking with me?
So when you say prepare, expand on that a little bit more. Are we talking about mentally prepare? Yeah, I'd love you to just talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about the mental aspect here. Number one, I've been around a lot of salespeople, and most salespeople spend more time worrying about the lead they didn't get as opposed to the lead that they got. I got sent to this side of town. He's going to that side of town. I got a Home Depot lead. He got a tech flip. Just this, it's kind of natural. Salespeople worry a lot about the leads they didn't get.
Oh,
have you experienced that?
I have.
Well, what we got to focus on is the customer. We've got to find the pain points. We've got to make a friend. And you can't do that when you're worrying why you're not getting somebody else's leads. And so, first of all, we just need to worry about the people that we're going to see. Love the one you're with, number one. Number two, leave the last call at the last house. Whether you sold it or whether you missed the last one, it stays there. We go to the new call fresh.
Of course.
Make sense? Like, reflection is good. When you make a win, reflect. What did I do? What did I say? Why did they buy today? Learn from that. If they didn't buy, what could I have done different? What did I say that turned the conversation? What did I miss? Like, certainly reflect. But don't carry that baggage to the next call. Man, we're going to wipe the slate clean, and we're going to go take care of the Comerfords. That's where we're going next. So get your mind in the game.
And what I'll tell you, Alan, for me, those voices never stop. The voices of doubt in myself, the voices of comparison, and I'm a believer that comparison is the thief that steals our joy. So if I'm comparing myself against another salesperson, you can sure as hell bet I'm going to be filled with anxiety. What I've learned is to pay attention to those emotions. What I've learned is, because they never go away completely. They never go. And if I think they go away and I have a great day today, tomorrow they're going to creep back in. And so what I'm hearing you say, because it sounds like you went through it as well, is just the awareness, like just have an awareness of when that's happening to you, and see if you can put yourself, because this is what I do. I take myself to a place of gratitude and focus put my focus on what I am thankful for, what I do have, because I will be the first one to tell you, Alan, I love Jonathan as well. I will be the first one to tell you I absolutely can slide back into focusing on what I don't have, that other lead, what those other people have, whatever it is.
Sure.
You have any insight on that for yourself and how that relates to a salesperson on their journey?
Well, this segment, I've got a list of things that we're going to talk about. You and I've already talked about them. And for me, this is really capturing the little wins. So, a salesperson is going to have some big objections, some big mountains they got to climb over. But there's a bunch of little ones that we don't want to be self-inflicted. And one of those is being distracted. Like I can't show up to you and Carolyn's house and learn about you guys and your needs and explore like Columbus and find pain points and come up with solutions. I can't do that if I'm thinking about somebody else's lead. I can't do that if my phone keeps ringing. I can't do that with the distractions. And so for me, I'm not suggesting that the salespeople that will listen to this podcast do this. I never took a phone on a call. I never, ever, not one time, ever took a phone in on a call.
I wouldn't want the salespeople inside Wrench to follow a living legend. I mean, come on. Did everybody just hear that black swan? Did everybody? That is a black swan moment. That is a moment that is so powerful. I never brought a phone into a sales lead.
Kevin, I never wore a watch on a sales call until I left the field and got in my new role because I was afraid that I would look at the watch and it would kill it. These are little wins. These are little tiny things that salespeople can do wrong. You are a California dude. You seem like an Apple Watch wearing kind of fella to me.
No way.
But both of my kids and my dad both wear these Apple Watches. It's like, it's just constant. And it's distracting to me. So I'm just telling you how I did it. I needed to minimize all distractions so the telephone didn't go in the call with me. It did not. The watch didn't have one. I didn't own one, right? Absolutely. I got to the house, parked my car, got out of the truck, and man, you and Carolyn had me for the next couple hours. No distractions.
We could pretty much close the podcast right now. Right?
I'm holding up a camera.
That's cool.
This is a Sony, probably last of the Mohicans, digital camera with the big screen, and it has an SD card in it. And I learned that if I took my pictures on this and I made my videos on this, and then I took the SD card and stuck it in my iPad, I could present. Like, I know that today, I gotta have my phone because I gotta take my pictures. I found a way around that. I was not going to allow a distraction to show up at that sales call with me, mentally or physically.
And Alan, do you think the salesperson that came in before you, if we're talking about another competitor, brought their cell phone in?
Chances are good they did. Chances are good they were late. Chances are good they weren't prepared. Chances are good they didn't look like they need to look. We're just talking about the easy wins. These are the easy things to win that everybody can apply today.
Oh, 100%.
Makes sense?
And I'd love you to spend a little bit of time for that, or a little bit of time on that.
Sure.
Because I know you go on ride-alongs.
Sure.
And I know that you spend a lot of time, or I know you you emphasize dressing for success. Look like $1 million, or in Bud Viniconis's case, look like $8 million, right? Because he's on track to do $8 million.
Sure.
Bud is from Morris Jenkins, right? One of your.
What didn't you?
Oh,
didn't you just love him? Didn't you love him on the podcast?
If anybody, please go back to that podcast. If anybody wants to know and hear from a $8 million plus producer what he does, Go see the Bud Viniconis podcast. So good.
I'm so lucky to be able to just have a friendship with him. He's good.
He's the epitome, though, of dressing for success, right?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So, we've worn white starch Morris Jenkins shirts, like I'm wearing right now, or Oxford blue, Pinpoint Oxford, since I got here 26 years ago. And we've sold $1 bazillion of stuff. Like, it works. All of our competition wears golf shirts. So we don't wear golf shirt. We don't want to look like them. Does that make sense? We wear like khaki or navy pants because a lot of our competition still wears blue jeans or shorts, and we're not. Does that make sense? This year, and it is hot. It is hot, and the attics do get hot in Charlotte, North Carolina. We got the fellas some golf shirts, and man, I ordered golf shirts from a lot of places. We tried them on. I didn't want the floppy collars, so we got like some $130 shirts with the hidden buttons. So they like nice looking shirts. And Bud said, "Boss man, I don't think I need one of those. I'm just going to keep wearing my white starch shirt."
It's only an $8 million producer. I mean,
yeah. So,
I mean, if you want success, just model success. It's simple. People complicate it. Find somebody who's successful and just surrender. That is a key word right there, Alan. The ability for people to surrender to someone else's greatness. Why is that so damn hard, Alan?
Well, it shouldn't be. And there's no need to recreate the way when somebody else has showed you the way, But works for him. So the point is we need to dress sharp, or crisp would probably be a better word. And I hate that we need to take time to talk about this on the podcast, but I do think it's important. The shoes need to match the belt. The shoes need to not be cowboy boots. Like, we're not wrangling horses. They don't need to be hey dudes. We're not on vacation. We need to look like a contractor. We're going to explore like Columbus here just in a little while. Episode 2, right? So we need to look like the sharpest contractor these people have ever met. Remember, they're trying to satisfy, is this the right guy? And it starts with the way we dress. And so in years past, I believe that a first impression was gained in about 6 to 7 seconds. That was like old data. You look it up today, it says that a first impression is gained in 1/10 of a second. So we have 1/10 of a second. Like, they're going to look and say, hey, that dude's sharp. Oh, that dude's a slob. Oh, she's a hottie. No, she's not. But people figure this out quick. So looking right is critical. No ball hats, no baseball hats, no sunglasses to the front door, no sunglasses on your forehead, no sunglasses on the back of your neck. Like, I don't even get that. But this is the little wins. These are little things that we can win. No skill is needed to win these things. Just make sure we do them, right?
I'm going to really quickly talk to sales managers. If you have salespeople that are wearing glasses, that are dressing sloppily, I don't even know if that's a word, that are wearing hats inside of the house, you have to stop them. You have to call them on it. Let them watch this podcast. Let them hear from someone who is a living legend in the industry. Let them make sure they watch the Bud Viniconis podcast so they see how sharp and what a true professional sales pro looks like. And if you're weak and unable to do that, that's on you. Because I've had sales managers tell me, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings because he's going to go out and run a call and I need for him to be at the top of his game. You know what I say to that? BS. It's your feelings you're worried about. You're unable to have that crucial conversation to address it and get that feedback, whatever that is that salesperson gives you. A great sales manager must have the ability to have that tough conversation and face adversity in the face, or face it head on and be okay with it. Know that you're helping that person be better for them, be better for their family, and be better for the company. Thank you for that little commercial break, Alan. Let's get back and talk to the sales team, the salespeople.
Yeah. Okay. No, we need to go here quick, and then we'll move on from appearance. I don't want to sound like the old fart here on the podcast. I am turning into an old fart. I'm pushing 50, right? But guess what? A lot of our customers are old farts. So we got to look the part. I would tell salespeople, either get up every morning and shave, or either have the tightest, nicest looking beard in the world. No in between. There's no, I forgot to shave this morning, I'll do it tomorrow, boss. Like, this doesn't work. Are you tracking with me? If you grow a beard, it needs to be tight.
Every
the
day.
neck needs to be clean.
So every day you have to
every
shave.
Day, yeah, or you the neck. I'm totally cool with beards. All the hunky guys have beards. Like, I get that. And we have some good looking fellas here with beards too. But this is in between stuff don't work for me. Like, either shave and be crisp, or have a nice looking beard that all the guys wish they had one like it. You know what I'm saying? One or the other.
We had a sales manager here, Eric Andrews, who had the most professional looking beard. He shaved his neck every day, and he used to preach, guys, you have to shave every day. Every day. What that means is cleaning up your neck every day, no matter what. Cleaning up above your cheeks. You got to do that. It's a non-negotiable in this world of professional sales, professional, just being a professional. So I love it. I love it, Alan.
Hey, listen, you see, everybody don't see me right now. I know this is an audio podcast, but I'm missing about half of my hair. Like, I think Kevin said a 5 head.
Well, no, I said I was getting,
forehead,
it used to be a
head.
4 head. I'm starting to get a 5 head. So I said that about myself.
I got like
yes.
I got a lot of head here. I still get a haircut every Friday. Every Friday, I go to the same barber. I get the same haircut every Friday. It's an old school barber shop. Andy Griffith's on the TV. You know the one. I go every Friday, and I do it really to lead by example here. But hair on the back of your neck or just bushy hair like this don't work. They're going to size you up in 1/10 of a second. They've sized you up before you knocked on the door. They were looking out the window at you when you walked up the sidewalk.
So true.
Sorry, real quick.
Yes.
If a sales manager is talking to a sales member, again, terminology, salesperson,
comfort advisor, salesperson,
they're getting rebuttals like, it's not really my style, or I like wearing a hat because, again, maybe I am balding, all these things. Would that salesperson maybe need to sort of take a really deep, an opportunity to really think inside internally and ask themselves if this position is for them? Because if these basic, simple things and pieces of advice are beyond what they're willing to do, is this maybe a position that they're not fit for? Do they have to have that honest conversation with themselves? And does that sales manager need to have that really important conversation with that salesperson?
Great question. Alan, you want to take that?
Yeah. Number one, if you got a guy that's just sloppy, you probably should have never put him in a sales truck to start with, because people don't change that much. Is that fair? But you might have inherited a sales team and there's a sloppy fella on there. And you'd probably, when you get 90% of the guys that are tight, looking, and gals, just tight, professional looking, and one standout's not so tight, he's not going to perform at their level. It just won't. Pure accountability is great. It really is. I think that the person will probably step their game up, but it's really a non-negotiable. We have to look sharp. We're asking for a lot of money. This is a lot of money for these people. People are going to set up an easy payment plan, and they're going to stretch this thing for 10 or 15 years for the system. We're asking for a big commitment. We need to put on a good show. And it starts right there at the front door, that 10th of a second, first impression. It's got to be crisp. The company vehicle's got to be clean. This is your billboard. I mean, like, get a pass to the auto bell and go often and pay for the tire gloss. And when they open the door, they should see you looking crisp and your truck sitting crisp behind you. They're trying to figure out, is this the right guy? That's what they're thinking about. And you need to just send that before you even speak, that, yes, I'm the right guy.
I know we're going to dig into this when we talk about Explore Like Columbus. But I do think acting like a boss does entail having the right tools. And
for sure,
a tool might be a pad.
The best tool that a salesperson has or should use is a notepad. We're going to take notes, and we're going to let them watch us take notes. Does that make sense? Kevin, you ever been to a restaurant with a big group out there in California? And there's like, you can hardly talk to the guy or gal at the other end of the table, and the waiter's working their butt off, and they're going around the table and they're taking everybody's order, and they're not writing anything down. You know the one. What's the chance that somebody's order is going to get goofed?
It makes me nervous when that happens, Alan.
I know it's probably going to be mine, right? But the waiter that's got the pad, and they ask and they check for clarity, and then they read back what you got, and they go around, man, this guy's earning a commission, earning a tip, right? Notepad goes on a call. I mean, that's equally as important as wearing underwear, right? We're going to take notes, and not weird stuff. We're not writing down weird stuff, but when they share a pain point, by gosh, we want to write it, read it back to them, check for clarity. Am I hearing you? You're telling me X, and you're going to say, yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect. And that's it. And you move on. I also believe that drawing is powerful. If you don't know how to draw, that's okay. I'm not a great artist. But when you're with a customer at the air condition outside, or they're maybe in the attic or the basement with you, and you can grab that notepad and you've got a piece of paper to draw what you're trying to tell, there's this relationship is being built right there. So this drawing, taking notes, win and move. That's a win and move. All salespeople don't do this, but all salespeople should do this. This is easy to execute today.
Hey, Alan, I saw this happen when we got on Service Titan. A big mistake I saw our salespeople make is they walked in the house with their big iPad Pro. No other notepad.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing you say, again, high tech, low tech, no tech. Walk in with a pad.
Yeah.
And you also said something I want to make sure everybody heard you say. Let them see you write it down. Why is that?
Well, because it's important, isn't it? Like, your home is your castle. And you've just shared something, a pain point, something you'd like to change, something you want different. Number one, I don't trust my memory to anything anymore. Okay, so they're number one. But number two, when they see me write it and I can share it back to them, it's solidifying this, hey, I got the right guy.
I've always believed there's 3 C's that make a great salesperson successful. Competence is at the very base. Competence. It all starts with competence. Because then that leads to the second C, which is confidence. And it's confidence that you bring to the call. Remember our urban dictionary of act like a boss. It's confidence that you bring to the call. And it's confidence that the client then has in you. And the third thing is control. Yes, you need to be in charge. Yes, you need to be the one that has an agenda. Yes, you need to be the one in the midst of craziness is in control of your emotions. Would you talk a little bit about the first C, the competence piece? Yeah, the
Competence. Yeah.
And how that plays out at Morris Jenkins as far as being technically competent.
Sure. Yeah, no, this is good. Be the master of airflow if you're an HVAC salesperson. Like so many problems and pain points and mildew and mold growing or growth or whatever we want to call it, hot spots or cold spots or velocity noises or death of units or high SEER units that are delivering half of their stated SEER rating. Like all of these problems are a result of airflow. Now, I don't think a salesperson needs to know how to sit down with chart paper and graph paper and draw the perfect duct system, but we need to understand supply and return and some flow. And I think that you can share that with a customer in language that they can understand. And that helps with the confidence and the competence and all the other stuff. Does that make sense? So, like your question was, what kind of competence do we need? Well, we need to understand airflow. We really, really need to understand it. We need to understand how an air conditioner works in refrigeration. Like, we don't have to put gauges on this thing, but we need to understand what makes them leak and where they typically do leak and the risk of going with a leak without taking action on that leak. We need to understand. We understand a lot, and so the way we would learn that is spend time with your technicians and spend time with your installers. A lot of this just takes time. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I didn't know this in the beginning. But we would talk about these things in sales meetings. Yes, we would talk about sales stuff, but we would talk about airflow and refrigeration and gas pressures and this other kind of stuff. Like, we have to be on a level of competence. You know what I mean? We can't go and just puke all this into a customer. Oh, look what all I know. It's not that. But you have to understand what's going on. Same for selling electrical, same for selling generators, same for selling panels, same for selling sewers. You got to understand what you're talking about. You got to be the doctor. And if you're not there, you'll get there. And the way to get there is spend time with people smarter than you. Like, between calls, downtime is hard for a salesperson. It is. Like, what do? Do I start cutting my grass? I got 2 calls tonight. The middle of the day's open. Heck no, go get with an install crew and learn something. Go ride with a tech and learn something. Go sit in a tech meeting. They're probably learning something. So get around people that are smarter than you. Learn what you need to learn, but you got to be the doctor.
There's 3 things our competition is always talking about. And I know you know these 3. They're talking about price, they're talking about brand, and they're talking about efficiency. So guess what 3 things we must stay away from when we're in the home? Price, brand, and efficiency. If you fall back on those and fail to talk about airflow, fail to talk about whatever, the call center open till midnight, whatever it is, the university that we have that puts technicians out into the field that are going to be installing at your home rather than practicing on your home. They're practicing at our university so that they're pros when they get to your home. Those are the things we talk about.
Sure. Agreed.
Do you guys ever recommend people or salespeople when they're on a call talk about the outcome, meaning their house is currently hot and they really want the AC to work and be efficient and whatnot? Do you ever recommend salespeople sort of lead with the outcome and kind of the transformation of not comfortable to the most comfortable house you've ever lived in? And this comes from me and my fitness background, where I'm not going to tell Kevin, hey, we're going to have 5 workouts a day. You're going to get 10 meal plans. You're going to get all this stuff. No, I'm going to say, hey, Kevin, you're going to be in the best shape of your life, and your whole family's going to be stunned when they see you at the beach next year. I don't talk about the stuff. I talk about the outcomes. Is there a similar correlation when it comes to this realm?
For sure. So this would be kind of a break-fix lead. It's broke. You need a new one. You don't have to be a good salesperson to sell those. You can just be mediocre. It's hot. I need an air conditioner. You're the right guy at the right time. You get that one. What we're really talking about is the Home Depot lead, or the ones that are you got to dig up your roll up your sleeves and go fight for. But what I found is that even on a break-fix lead, a tech flip, I'm still going to find a bunch of problems they didn't know they had. Yes, we're going to get your house cooler, but by gosh, you just about lost your ceiling because look how the heck they ran this drain. This thing makes a gallon of water an hour. Water's 8 pounds per gallon. Man, you know what I mean? We're going to go find some other things to solve also. Like there ain't a house I've been to where there weren't other issues.
This is so good. This is so good.
Okay, listen. If I'm coming to see you at Carolyn and you've agreed to have me come to your home tomorrow morning, 9:00, okay? If I don't get there till 9:30, how do you feel about that? Is that a potential objection?
You're already behind the 8 ball with me.
Well, I told you I was going to be there at 9, but I didn't get there till 9:30. I'm already lying to you. You're busy. Like you didn't have time for the first meeting at 9. You sure don't have time for me to be 30 minutes late. So let me just throw some easy wins. This is really about easy wins. Be on darn time for the call. Be on time for the call. Well, I called them. They said it was fine if I was late. No, yes, I know. That's because they're nice people. You inconvenience them. Let's be on time for the call. If it's an 11, let's get there at 11. If you're running late, talk to your dispatch. See if we can give you longer time windows. That's okay too. But get there when you say you want to get there. That makes sense? Call them when they're on the way. If I'm coming to your house, I'm going to call you or Carolyn's number, and I'm going to say, Carolyn, this is Alan Morse Jenkins. I'm on the way. I can't wait to meet you. I'm about 12 minutes out. Okay, that's it. Why is that important for me to do that? Like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to talk to you and Carolyn?
TRUST. Trust.
For sure. Yeah. I also want you to hear my voice. Like, we're breeding some familiarity here. Like, you've heard my voice, and then 12 minutes later, you're going to see me at your front door. You're going to hear my voice again. I'm getting on friend level fast as I can. I know that people pay attention because I've got an interesting voice, and people would tell me often, I expected you to be a lot older. Like I didn't look like they expected. I just put this correlation together. Like the sound of my voice made a difference. So you call them, you tell them you're going to be there, you be there on time. You dress like $8 million if you want to sell what Bud Vinicona sells, and you got your notepad.
Yes.
Make sense? And you're prepared. And you took your 3 deep breaths, and you know a little bit about their house. And I think that's where we are right now. We're just getting to the house.
Alan, if you would do me a favor, would you briefly describe the steps? When I say describe, just what are the 5 or 6? Are there 5 or 6 steps that you all follow at Morse Jenkins?
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. So we do follow a process, right? And this process, it can change just a little bit, but we got to keep it on the tracks. So this is prepare. We're going to show up prepared. We talked a lot about this in episode 1. It's critically important. Discrete step. We didn't talk a lot about that, but you can't get caught being a salesperson in the greet step. Let me just put that plug in there. We're just making a friend, setting an agenda. Okay. And then we're going to explore, and that's where we're parking today. So this is what I loved the best. This was my favorite part. This is where I think I won most sales, is in this step. Followed by that, we're going to educate people. We got to teach them what we found, and then we're going to present some options to solve it. Okay. So this is a pretty simple process. And this absolutely is the magic here. Kevin, let's remind folks, I think it's worth repeating. People are trying to satisfy, is this the right person? Is this the right company? And is this the right time? And we're looking for something that's going to help us with the right time satisfying. Does that make sense? I'm going to find a problem that's a real problem. We're going to do this with integrity. and honesty. We're going to find everybody's got a problem in their house. We're going to find it. We're going to solve it. And this is where we're going to get the today piece. Does that make sense?
Yes.
People do business with people they like. And people do business with people that they trust. So I'm going to let them watch me work. I'm going to invite them along for the ride if they will. If they can't go, I'm going to bring a presentation back that'll knock their socks off. But I'm going to find something to talk about other than the model number and the SEER rating and the blah, blah, blah. They don't want to talk about that either. I promise they don't.
I believe that 80% of the sale is made during the explore phase. That's why we're stressing it so much, team. So let's get right into it. And I think you have a couple stories around the explore phase that you wanted to share. So let's,
Sure.
I'm just going to open it up and have you go right into those.
Absolutely. And by the way, I've got hundreds of stories. When I drive around Charlotte, because I'm raised in Charlotte, this is home. When I go to a side of town I haven't driven to in a while, I'm just reminiscing stories and people because there's so many houses that I've been in. But when we started talking about this one jumps into my mind. Okay, so we didn't have tech flip leads in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. These were call to action marketed leads. These were the letter. You know the letter. My problem is your opportunity, right?
Oh, yeah.
We've got X amount of furnaces at X amount of discount. P.S. Just for grabbing the appointment, you're going to get a $19 gift. And so for us, this $19 gift was a fire extinguisher, right? That's a pretty cool gift. Everybody needs one. So this is the time frame. This is what I'm running. This is the lead. This is a marketed lead. We've sent them a letter. They've replied. And I show up at a door about dark, right? So about dark in Charlotte. And there I stand in my white Stark shirt. And I got my little tool bag. We'll talk about that. And I've got a fire extinguisher. And this is my gift that I'm about to give these people just for having me to their house. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, we're together. And I hear somebody run towards the door and sling the door open. And it's a lady. And she turns around and she runs back in down the hallway. And I don't know what's going on. I assume that somebody's injured or somebody's hurt. And I don't know CPR. So this is not going to probably go well, right? So I go in the house and I follow her. I hang a left and she's standing in the hallway and she's posted up by a door and the door's cracked and she's looking in the door. And I don't know what's going on. Is there a bad guy in there? Is this fire extinguisher going to be my, my defense? I don't know. What I learned is that she went in to use the bathroom before I got there. And there was a great big black snake in the bathroom by her toilet. Y'all got black snakes in California?
No.
Dude,
no.
Man, they get like 6 feet long here. They're huge. The big juicy things.
Yeah.
Listen, they're not poisonous, but I do not like them. And she's posted up in the hallway and she's scared to death. I'm scared as she is. We're both peeking through the crack. We're keeping eyes on this thing, waiting on the husband to get home. I'm that guy. I'm not going to go there and wrangle the snake. Well, the husband finally comes home and he says, I'm going to change. I'll take care of the snake. So I go out to start my explorer. And I'm thinking, that sucks. How did that snake get in her house? The emotion that was triggered there. This is horrible. So I go out to the unit. It's a gas pack, a package unit. I evaluate what I need to evaluate. He's in there snake wrangling. No help from me. I'm not that guy. And I said, well, I need to get in this crawl space. I need to figure out how he got in that bathroom. So I worked up the courage to go in there. My coveralls are up to my ears. I got shoe covers on my hands. I'm prepared to go battle with one of these things, one of these animals. So I go in the crawl space and the ductwork's in horrible shape. It's in horrible shape. It's metal ductwork. It's wrapped in the paper insulation wrap. This is post-asbestos, pre-flex, the stuff,
Oh, yeah.
And it appeared to me that somebody had crawled over many of the hard pipes and broken them in the middle. Maybe a cable guy, because I saw cable strode through there. And so I take pictures. I'm taking pictures of what I'm seeing. Oh my gosh, dang, this is where the snake got in her house. This is terrible, And I'm just exploring. And I went all over that crawl space and I found a bunch of broken ducts. And I came back and I got my story right in my head and I went in to present. And I've still got my extinguisher. She hadn't taken it yet. So I go back in. I greet again and they say, well, come into the dining room and you can share us what you find. So neither one of them want to talk to me at this point. Like she's embarrassed. He's mad. This is where I'm at. We go into the dining room, Kevin. It's the one they eat at twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know the one. It's got the china in the cabinet. We go into the room. She turns the light on and I pull the chair out from the table and 2 mice shot out from under the chair. Like Tom and Jerry, like lightning, just they were gone.
Yep.
And then I'm thinking, well, dang, I bet those mice came in through the duct system, and I bet the snake was hunting for them. So what I later learned is that black snakes, they love to eat mice. That's what they eat. I learned that mice, they got high metabolism, little tiny bladders, and they urinate all the time. When they run, they're peeing all the time. It's gross. Snakes can sense that with their tongue. I learned that a black snake can feel the vibration of the pitter patter of a mouse just by laying on the ground. They don't have ears. They can't hear, but they feel the vibration. I got like National Geographic going on in this house. Does it make sense?
Yes.
I'm there for a gas pack lead. That's it. But I'm seeing this and I'm going to show them where the snake got in, where the mouse got in. And I'm going to get them happily involved in a new pure flow system. And we're going to start in the morning. And that's exactly what happened, right? And I didn't have to talk about brand. And I didn't have to talk about efficiency. Those things were there for me if I needed to. And I didn't. They were asking me, how fast can you do this? I'm not staying in this house tonight until this is fixed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This sounds kind of extreme, but that's real. And then over time, I started finding all kind of crap like that. There's all kind of problems people have like that. All kind of problems. I started carrying a good flashlight with me and lifting registers in homes. If I go into a house and lift up the register in the kitchen and shine a good flashlight down in there, what do you think I may find in that register? What may be in there, Kevin? I'm in the kitchen.
Could be toys. Could be a lot of junk. Could be
cereal, spilt milk, just disgusting. And then I thought, well, gosh, that's nasty. And then I started looking at the ones in the bathroom by the toilet, shine the light. Those are really bad. Like there's some yucky stuff there people don't know about, right? And then I started climbing into air returns. I'm talking about my head, my shoulders, the whole thing, like under the stairwell. There's the return. Let's see what I see down there. I'm looking for gold. They deserve this. I'm looking for the gold. Are you tracking with me? My dad used to coach this all the time. Did you find the gold? I'm like, no, they just weren't ready today. He's like, dang it, you didn't find the gold. Many times I would lift a register and the flex is not connected and I see into the crawl space. Many times I would climb in a return and the return's laying on the ground because it fell off the collar. Are you tracking with me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and then when you share this with people, they want that fixed immediately. Immediately. And I thought, well, dang, this Explorer, this can help me satisfy the why today. All I got to do is find the gold and teach them about it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now, I got another story. It's short. You just listen. Let me hijack the podcast, okay?
I love it.
I go to this precious
It's
little
all yours, baby.
Little old lady's house, as sweet as can be. Her husband's passed. One son lives on the Carolina coast. We're in Charlotte, 3 hours away. The other son is not there. And I'm trying to figure out who my audience is, who I need to get involved in this decision. Like I'm there, And in the hallway, I open her air return and I look in the return with my light and I see what appears to be a big fluffy pillow of gray stuff. Looked like a fuzzy blanket somebody threw down there. And I'm like, what the crap is that? So I say, hold my feet, Grandma. I'm going in. So I got my head in, my shoulders in. I'm down in the return, and I come up with a handful of 16 penny nails. This is from when the house was built. This is pre-nail gun. Okay, this is like a late 80s house. So this is just bunches of nails, and I'm putting them on the floor. I'm taking them out, I'm cleaning them out, and I'm putting them on the floor. And here's a Pepsi can, and here's another Pepsi can, and here's some other trash. And they're covered this gray stuff that looked like a fuzzy blanket was 20 years of dust or 10 years of dust at the time. Are you tracking with me? How do you think all that stuff got in that return?
My guess it was from the builders.
This disgusted that lady. It absolutely, positively grossed her out. And she said, I need this fixed in the morning. That was her pain point. She didn't know that pain point was there. Okay? Same house. I go into the crawl space, and there's some cat poop on the plastic. Now, I don't know about California, but around here, most cats dig a hole, poop, and then bury it. But there's the cat poop, and I'm like, that's yucky. And then I go around it, and then there's some more cat poop. And I'm like, well, it seems to me there's a cat living under here. And far on the other side of the crawl space where it gets slow, I saw some eyes looking at me, so I had a good flashlight, and it was a cat, and that cat jumped through a missing foundation vent and took off. The foundation vent was under a deck. That's why she didn't know it was missing. The homeowner, are you tracking with me? So I'm gathering this data, I'm exploring. I'm like, this is horrible. The return is full of trash. They used it like a trash can. I got cat poop all over the crawl space. The foundation vent's missing. I'm not going to talk about brand and this, that, the other. We're going to talk about this stuff. And so I went in and I did exactly what I'm doing with you right now. I'm telling you what I found, and I'm showing you what I found. I'm not making her trust me. Okay. And she said, I need this fixed in the morning. Price wasn't an issue. I didn't have to lead with a discount. I didn't have to give her very expensive financing that just destroys the bottom line for the business. I didn't have to do any of that. There were pain points there she didn't know she had. And I solved those pain points. Does it make sense? So this explore like Columbus for me is about being inquisitive. Exploring. If I would have put a system on that house and left that return 80% full of stuff, have I done anybody any favors?
No.
Heck no. So we got a new foundation vent. We put it under the deck. We took the plastic with the poop. We rolled it up. We got some new plastic. We put new plastic. We solved the problems. So when I say explore, that's what I mean. We're not going to miss anything. We're looking for gold. The competition will walk right by these things. The competition won't even go in the crawl space. They won't. If the system's outside, they're not going in the crawl space. They're not going in the attic. They're not. We want to be thorough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think every great sales professional, every great comfort advisor will tell you the same thing, that if you find that deep problem, the price objection melts away. So what I guess I'm hearing you say, if you're a comfort advisor or a sales professional out there that's getting a whole lot of price objections, I guess the question is are you looking for the gold? Are you finding the gold?
Your podcast on luxury language, you talked about selling commodities and bags of salt.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're getting, you and Amanda did a great job on that one, by the way.
Thank you.
You get those price objections, you're selling the commodity. It's your two-stage Linux versus somebody else's two-stage Linux. I'm not talking about the two-stage Linux. I'm finding some real problems that left unattended can really be detrimental. And every house has got them. Because we don't do new houses and old houses, but we're largely in old houses.
What I want to stress is what you just said there. Every house has them. What you need to do is to explore like Columbus to find them.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And that takes time.
It does take time. It absolutely takes time. But I would rather spend the time doing these things than sitting down going to battle on why I'm 10,000 and somebody's 9,000. And why I can't do it for $9,500 and why my financing ain't better. Like, that's a long discussion too. That takes time. I would rather spend time solving some problems.
So good already. So good.
Listen, I don't know, I'm going to come see you. We're going to hang out. And my wife's been saying, call Kevin, tell him we're coming. So we're going to do this. Okay. But I don't know about California, but in North Carolina, we got duct board for miles and miles and miles of darn duct board. Okay. So I thought, well, dang, that stuff, somebody needs to inspect it. So I carry a pocket knife. Like the only time I don't have a pocket knife is when I'm naked. For real. And you cut a hole in the plenum. You angle your knife like you're cutting a jack-o'-lantern. This is October, right? So you cut it, you take it out, and then you put your arm in there and you see what's there. And if it's clean as a whistle, then I'm going to take some pictures and I'm going to show them and I'm going to say, I evaluated your duct system. I opened an access port and great news. It's clean as a whistle. You don't need to do anything. Did that add some value?
Yes.
But what do you think I see in the duct board often? What's in there often?
It's falling apart, mold, mildew.
Dude, the growth is everywhere. It's just all in there. This stuff is yellow from the factory, right? Maybe orange, depends on the brand. Most of it's yellow. It's black. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Most of that, by the way, is a product of poor airflow. We were spitting water off the coal. The velocity was wrong. So that's why we got to know that. It's disgusting. Something else you find in ductboard? Rat poop. There's mouse poop in ductwork. Not everybody, but I found it lots of times. I'm looking for the gold. If it's clean, I'm going to take pictures and say, look, great news, Kevin and Carolyn, everything's great. But half the times it's not great. And that might be the pain point that triggers them to say, yeah, that stuff is bad. Get it out of there. Okay. Now, we're not using fear. This is not a scare tactic. This is a thorough evaluation, a thorough explore, and we're going to educate. We'll do as little or as much as they want. It's up to them. We're not going to make any crap up because we're going to show them in pictures and we'll invite them on the journey with us. I really want somebody to go with me. Now, the ductboard, I don't know, Kevin, if you've ever stuck your arm with a camera in ductboard to take pictures. But if you do, your arm is going to itch from your elbow to your wrist for 3 days. Why is it going to itch for 3 days?
Well, because the ductboard's made of insulation.
And insulation's made of what?
Glass.
Fibers of glass. Like, does that even sound like a good idea to build your air distribution system? The air that you breathe? It doesn't even make sense to me. It's not even logical, right? So some people, like, that may be the trigger. It may be that they've got some breathing issues. It may be that the wife says, this is the dustiest darn house we've ever lived in. I dust every day. Maybe that's fiberglass. I don't know. But it's our job to explore and educate. And somewhere in here, we might align on some kind of a pain point that we can solve. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Kevin, if it's a metal plenum, interior lined insulation, you can't cut into the side of that, but you can absolutely pop a Panduit, remove a 6-inch flex off of a collar and put your arm in there, get some pictures and evaluate it. They deserve us to evaluate it. Could you imagine buying a new system from somebody and sticking it on old ductwork that's full of just yuck? It doesn't even make sense. And so, it took a while. And in some big houses, it takes a while. And that's okay. We want to be respectful of their time, so we want to move with purpose. I'm not going to walk out to the truck to get water every 5 minutes and then go call my girlfriend every 10 minutes and sit in the car with the air conditioner on because I'm sweating. I actually want them to see me sweat. Does that make sense? Like, move with purpose, be respectful of their time, and explore like Columbus. There's gold in these houses. We can solve it.
I love what you just said there. Have the client join you. Make sure they watch you. Make sure they see you sweat, bleed, get dirty. This is all part of the demonstration. It's all part of the show. I call it a show. You're actually doing a hell of a lot of work. At the same token, why I call it a show is because you're doing it. The person after you or before you never did anything like that.
They don't get it, and they're not going to get it, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it. And the people deserve it. They really do. It's not for show. It is a show, but it's not for show.
Yes.
It is a show, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to not miss anything.
How would somebody go looking for gold and exploring while maintaining trust? And what I mean is, a lot of people don't love going to get their car oil changed because the guy's in the window saying, hey, you also need your air filter changed. It's like, no, I came in for an oil change. I want an oil change because I don't want you to, quote, upsell me or whatever it may be. I called because something in the attic. What are you doing in the basement? How do you maintain trust while exploring?
Well, number one, if I was the guy selling the oil filters at that place, or the air filters or whatever, I'd clean the grease off my hands. I'd go in and take them back to the shop with me. I'd show them their filter in place. I would talk about the risk for not changing the filter. Here's the damage that could be caused. I'm going to educate, right? That's missing at the car shop. So we want to take that forward or bring that forward on a sales call. I kept rolls of plastic in the back of my truck, clean plastic. And many times I would invite people to come in the crawl space. I'd say, when's the last time you've been there? And they'd say, well, I've never been in there. I'm like, well, it's not that bad. I've done cleaned all the cobwebs out with my big forehead. I got 2 flashlights, one for me, one for you, and I've got clean plastic. Would you come with me? You'll be surprised how many people will go with you. Some people will just make it barely inside the door, right? And then, hey, what's that over there? Hey, I forgot about that lawnmower over there. Some people will just make it barely inside the door. But I'm not going to give them any excuse to doubt me. I'm going to invite them in the attic. If they absolutely cannot go, I'm going to make a movie in the attic with my little tiny Sony Handycam. I'm going to narrate it. I'm going to get pictures of their Christmas decorations and maternity clothes and all the crap that's in the attic. I'm going to let them know I'm at their house. They might be standing in the hallway. They're going to hear me talking to myself. And I'm going to play it for them on a great big iPad and watch it with them like we're watching a movie. That make sense? I'm not going to leave any opportunity for them to question anything I've told them. I got to close all those doors.
Let's start with tools.
Okay.
You've mentioned a few. I just want to make sure. Here's what I've got. Flashlight, coveralls, knee pads, pocket knife, camera, roll of plastic.
It's like Rambo, man. You MacGyver. Okay.
Love it.
All right, let's go. You ready?
Love it.
Okay.
Tools.
I ran calls a couple of weeks ago with some talented folks, and the flashlight was the iPhone light. That don't work. It doesn't work. Number one, I don't want the phone because somebody might call me and then I'll have to answer, or somebody might text me and I might have to respond. It'll distract me and the customer. Number two, this is not the light we need. Headlamp don't work either. Headlamp is to light your path and to light your hands while you're working on a part. You got to have a light that you can call in airplanes to the airport with, because I got to shine it to the other side of the crawl space. This light I'm holding here was a stream light. There's tons of choices for good lights, but the light is there so I can find the gold. That's the purpose of the light. Headlamp don't work. iPhone light's no good. You need to have 2 lights. One's for you, one's for the customer who decides to go with you. Give them the light, you get the light. Now you're exploring together. It's like Columbus had a right-hand man on the ship, I guess. So
yes.
The flashlight's critical. So I think I shared with you guys, if I could just have one tool to run sales calls with, it would be a notepad. Okay? Like that would be number 1. That was probably episode 1, but you got to have a notepad. Number 2 is a good flashlight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 is a tape measure.
Or that's number 3.
Yeah, 3 too. Tape measure. Okay. Listen to me, Kevin. If I don't know how big your rooms are and how big your house is, how do I know exactly what size air condition you need?
You don't.
How do I do a proper load calculation if I don't measure the windows? How do I know what's going to fit in your attic unless I measure the attic stairs? How do I know? I don't know. How do I know your house wasn't added on to and we don't know the exact square footage? Now,
how do I know that air conditioner is going to fit in the gate on the side yard?
For sure. So most salespeople will say, we're going to look it up on the real estate programs. We're going to get the square footage. How often do you get the square footage of the up and the downstairs separated? It's normally just one big square footage. Well, we're just doing the downstairs. I need to know how many square feet are downstairs. When I go in a bonus room over the garage and the dude works from home and he says, this is always hot in here. Well, we're going to measure that room right there in that room. I'm aware that they make tools that you can hold up to the wall and boom, boom, shoot lasers like Darth Vader and, like do this thing and measure the room. I get that. But for me, I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to measure the room. I'm going to let them watch me. More often than not, they'll help me. Let me hold the end of the tape measure. And then I'm going to do the math on my pad and I'm going to say, well, this room's 375 square feet. It's interesting that you only have one air vent. Well, when I get in the attic, I'm going to evaluate and see what it would take to reposition or like we're solving this together. Does that make sense? And you can't do that unless you know how big the room is. So the tape measure is a really cool way for people to watch you work. But it also should be required. Like I couldn't imagine handing a job off to our install department and not knowing if the thing I sold will fit through the attic scuttle or through the crawl space. What I've learned is that sometimes that Linux two-stage blah, blah, blah don't even fit best in this application. A train blah, blah, blah might fit better. So we want to figure out what's best for the application. So tape measure, critical. Load calculation, got to know ceiling height. So let's measure the ceiling height. Let's walk this tape measure. If I had a bigger camera, I would measure this room I'm in for you. But it doesn't take long. It does not take long. And they'll help you do it. And they're watching me work.
High tech, low tech, or no tech. And I like no tech.
Yeah, we're kind of going
It's easy to go on Google and shortcut it, yet you've just lost the sale.
Yeah.
You just put yourself in the commodity business. You're like everybody else.
Sure.
Did anybody else work as hard as you? No.
So, it's beautiful in Charlotte today. I mean, I kind of wish you'd have just came here and we sat in the same room for this, maybe next time. But we're getting some cold nights. So a 90% or condensing furnace in a crawl space, like the flue pipe, it can't exceed 40 feet in length. If it does, it won't draft.
Right.
It has to have a 1/4-inch rise per foot. Every elbow counts for 5 linear foot. So if you have a 10-foot pipe and you have 2 elbows, then it might as well be a 20-foot pipe. Are you tracking with me? Where it exits the house has got to be so high off the ground. How are you going to do that if you don't have a tape measure? While you're doing this measurement to see what's going to work and what's not going to work, see if there's any condensation dripping out any of the joints on the PVC flue. If it's cold and the furnace is running and water is dripping out of the PVC flue joints, Kevin, what else could leak out of that joint?
I mean, certainly you can have some of the exhaust leaking out.
Bingo. So this is this whole I'm measuring, I'm exploring, my mind is open, I'm not distracted. And we've got companies in our town, and you have them in your town, that'll just put back furnace like for like, same hook back to the same flue.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, and they're selling the bags of salt versus another bag of salt.
Can you just finish with tools that you suggest on every call a salesperson walks in with?
Absolutely. So, for those driving, keep driving, be safe. We'll get a Lytics alert if you're not. But for those watching, I've got a 5/16 1/4-inch nut driver. You can take apart any HVAC system with a 5/16 1/4-inch nut driver. You don't need anything else. You could also use a multi-tool. But I'm going to open that 90% furnace, and I'm going to see if there's a puddle of water behind the collector plate or behind the secondary heat exchanger in the blower cabinet. If it is, if there's a problem. I'm going to see if there's a rat nest in there. I'm going to take the coil door off and see how rusted the interior drain pan or any of the plate inside. I'm going to see if there's any black stuff growing all over the wires in an air handler. I'm going to take it. I'm not dissecting the unit and pulling blower motors. We don't have time for that. But by gosh, I can take the door off look, take a few pictures and put it back together. It's easy enough. So 5/16 quarter-inch nut driver. Kevin, I'm holding up a set of calipers. This is line set calipers. Y'all, a quarter-inch and a 5/16 look a lot the same. 3/8 and a 5/16 look a lot the same too, and a 1/17 and a 3/4 looks a lot the same. And we've got guys reusing line sets all over town that are the wrong size line sets with HVAC systems all over town. We're going to make, and we have line sets that change size from the outside unit to the inside unit. Like it's 3/8 outside, and it's 5/16 inside. Like if you put a high performance unit on the wrong size line set, we didn't help anybody. So we're going to check that. So I carry line set calipers. Kevin, this is a velometer. This measures airflow. Okay. Like when somebody says, I got a problem in this room, it is always stuffy in here. Well, I'm going to get a little step stool and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to see how much air is coming out of the vent. And we'll write it down.
CFM, right? Yep.
Yeah. 4 feet per second. Then I'm going to go to their most comfortable room in the house, and I'm going to see how much air comes out of that vent, and we're going to compare and contrast. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like a valuable little tool. This is a humidistat. Some houses are just freaking muggy. You go in, and it's like you're just sweating, thinking about sweating. They're not dehumidified correctly. Air conditioning's the wrong size. They're cycling on and off. We don't have enough runtime. I didn't use this on every call, but it was in my belt. It was ready in case I needed it. Okay. Kevin, this inspection mirror that I'm holding up, it's about 1 inch in diameter. Man, I had a whole lot of what people would call proactive furnace leads. Yeah, it's getting old. We thought about changing it. I'm going to see if it's got a cracked heat exchanger. It probably does. It doesn't. It does. It's not hard to put this thing inside the burner plate and just look at the prime spots. We know which ones are going to crack in which locations. Be the tech. And all of this stuff for me, Kevin, rode in a little tool bag on my side. I carried it on my side every call. It hung on the back seat of my truck, and then when I got out to go visit Kevin and Carolyn, this went with me because when something critical needs to be talked about, I don't have time to run and get the tool. You'll lose your audience. You come back in, it's like, where'd Carolyn go? Well, she had to take our son to ball practice. Well, crap, I wanted to show. You know what I'm saying? So I would carry a small tool bag with me. And the last and really the most critical thing that I would put in that tool bag is a temperature gun. Y'all, I'm holding up just a very inexpensive, palm-sized temperature gun. The more you pay, the more accurate they are at distance. But what would I do with this? Well, the air conditioning's working fine, but we know it's getting old. Okay, great. Well, we're going to go ahead and check the air return temperature and the supply temperature. And I'm not going to use that language. I'm using that language with you, Kevin. But I want to see what the temperature drop is. And I'm going to bring it down on some level that they'll just understand, because sometimes they're not working right. You with me? So I found that a lot of my success came from me. The more tech savvy I got, the better I could do. It's a dangerous balance. You can't use words like supply and return and delta T and temperature difference. You can't use any of that. The air goes in here and the air comes out over here. And we're looking for a 20-degree difference. That's how it works. You tracking with me? Let's go see where yours is at. Holy smokes, it's only 10-degree difference. It's broken. Let's see if we can figure out why. This is high level teaching somebody how an air conditioner works. So tools are important. Remember, they're trying to satisfy, is this the right guy? Is this the right company? And is today the day? So I'm going to present like a boss, the best that I can, episode 1. Number 2, I'm going to explore like Columbus. I'm going to find some stuff wrong they didn't know was wrong. I'm going to find where the snake got in the ductwork. I'm going to find it. Okay. I'm going to teach them that. We can talk about that in episode 3 if you want to. But I'm going to find things that other people won't find. And through this process, I'm going to make a friend.
Okay. And if I'm understanding correctly, you now are going to take them through their own home. After you show them what the system should look like, you're going to take them through your pictures that you saw, and what are you doing? Are you rebuilding the pain points that you already uncovered during the explore step? Did you talk about this stuff during the explore step to them, or did you leave it?
Good question. Listen, when you find something that's wrong, when you find a package unit on an older home that doesn't have a steel lintel across the penetration, you don't say, aha, there's a problem, and you go get them and take them and show them. I'm building a case. It's like a lawyer. You're building a case. You're building a story. When I open a register and I look down in there and there ain't no flex and I'm looking into the crawl space, if you're there, we'll talk about it, but I'm not going to run and get you and show you that right now. I'm going to see what else I can find. I'm building a story. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Build a case. Before you go in to present, make sure you got your story in your head. This all works really great if you're with me the whole time. If we're discovering together, this magic has happened. But it's not always possible for people to be with us every step of the way. I get that. So we're going to build a case. Most 10-year-old systems didn't die because they got 10 years old. They died because they were installed wrong. Airflow was wrong. Drainage was not right. The size of the equipment was incorrect. It was oftentimes murdered. I mean, we can agree on that. So I don't want to go back and quote like for like. I want to figure out what's missing, what's wrong, why did it die after 10 years? The other guy's not going to talk about that.
And the reason you're connecting with them emotionally through these pictures, because I'm a believer, I just want to say that I love what you said about pictures, because show me a salesperson that is struggling with their closing ratio, and I'll show you a salesperson that 90% of their presentation is verbal.
Yeah.
What I've learned is you have to activate the client's other senses.
You got to get them involved.
Yes. And that includes if I'm just talking all the time, which, my gosh, having been on many ride-alongs, and as a new salesperson, when I was there myself, diarrhea of the mouth, meaning my whole presentation was auditory.
Yeah.
And I was only activating hearing from my client. What I've learned is I've got to activate their visual through pictures. I got to activate their smell, which I love getting them in the attic, getting them under the crawl space. Now they're smelling. That smell in the attic, that smell in the crawl space, now it's real. Activating their touch. Give them something to hold on to. Give them a piece of copper piping so they see that we're going to replace their new copper line set, where most all other companies keep the existing line set. Give them a piece of copper that's nice and shiny so they can hold it. Why? To activate their touch.
Kevin, I've heard it said that a lot of different ways, and I'll probably get this wrong, but people remember about 20% of what they hear, right? About 40, 50% of what they see and read and hear all together. But if you include them in it, they remember 90% of that if they're involved. And so you don't just show them the duct board, hand them a piece of duct board. A piece of duct board was always in my briefcase.
Bingo.
Next level is bring in the plug you cut out of their duct board and let them hold their duct board. And then tell them your hands are going to itch later and you're going to be really mad at me, but this is important. You needed to know what your airflow is made out of. If you're on that level of friendship, they'll understand. All right. So, we gotta draw them in here. We got to bring it home. You are right. God give us 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen more than we talk. There should have been good questions with intentional pause for them to go back and forth. This is something I struggle with a lot. My wife, last night, you and I were on speakerphone. My wife said, you put a note on the computer not to cut Kevin off. You cut him off 3 times. Sorry for that. But,
you're you know what? You're so easy to like that I didn't even notice it.
It's good. So that's a true story, by the way. But you got to be a good listener. But this is time that you actually have to talk. You actually have to talk, and you got to talk through exactly what the system should look like. And this is exactly what yours looks like. And this is what we need to do to change it to make sure it's better and it lasts longer than 8 years next time.
Bingo. That third part right there, which is here's how we're going to solve it, is what I want to make sure we spend a little bit of time on. And I assume that it's with the products and services that Morris Jenkins offers. Here's how we're going to satisfy this problem. Sure. Yeah. I know that sounds kind of obvious, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's going to happen. We're going to talk about how we're going to solve the issue. If it's a system in the attic and they've had water issues, water in the pan, water not draining, water leak on the ceiling. We see this all summer. These things make a gallon of water an hour in an attic, right? It's just a recipe for disaster, right? At least in North Carolina, that's how much water we're making. Man, we're going to go up there and build a platform, raise the system up, replace the drain pan, replace the drain line. Now the drain lines have tremendous pitch, so the water don't back up in them, and you'll never have to worry about it. Then we're going to put a safety switch in the pan. So if water gets in the pan, it shuts off. Then we're going to put a safety switch on the drain line. So if the drain line, we're going to have checks and balances for the checks and balances, and you show them all this when they've had water issues. Show them how you're going to solve it. You got to have good pictures. Drawing is critically important. You don't have to be a great artist, but there's just some relationship building that happens when I'm sharing something with you and I'm trying to draw it upside down on my notepad, the same one I've been carrying since I got there. Magic starts happening.
Today is about sales. Today is about improving your closing ratio.
Our customers, they have three things they're trying to satisfy. Is this the right person? Is this the right company? And is this the right time? I also believe that people do business, Kevin, with people that they like and with people that they trust.